Today, we're taking a look at this little guy, the Ronin-SC, the baby brother to the Ronin-S, and pretty much does everything that the Ronin-S does, just on a smaller scale, which means it can't quite carry the weight that the S can, with the SC having a max payload at 4.4 pounds, and the S having a max payload of 8 pounds. But this thing does have some features that the S does not have, so let's jump into the differences from the S to the SC, and the pros and cons of this newer, smaller gimbal. Good? Good. Good. First thing is, of course, how light the SC is, weighing in at only 2.7 pounds, and that's with the gimbal, the battery grip, and the tripod legs, which is significantly lighter than the S, which weighs 4.7 pounds. The small downside to how light this is, of course, as with any sort of lighter rig, is that you're going to get a little bit more of that handheld look, a little bit of that wobble when you're running or doing anything more aggressive, which of course is a little bit less of a problem with the S, since you do have a little more of that weight there helping you with stability. A major plus for me is balancing has been made a whole lot easier, and that's thanks to the mechanical locks for each axis. With the locks in place, it isn't just flopping around while you try to balance this thing, so you can focus on each axis one by one, which is just all the better. The locks are really great for transporting as well. It feels a lot more secure because, again, you're locking all of that down, so it feels very sturdy when you're moving it from place to place. Another addition that I really appreciate about the SC is on the release plate. There's a small position lock to easily mark and keep your place for when you have to remove your camera for a battery change or anything of the like, which gets rid of the need to rebalance every time you have to take your camera off for whatever reason. For the battery, it takes about 2.5 hours to fully charge, but then gives you 11 hours of operation, of course, if your gimbal is balanced correctly, which I can't think of a single instance where I would be using a gimbal for 11 hours straight, so that'll work for me. But if you do find yourself on a low charge and you need to use this bad boy, the SC can actually be operated while plugged in and charging, so you could MacGyver a portable charger to this thing, and boom, you're set to keep using this tiny beauty for all of time and eternity, or however long your power supply lasts. And of course, it does everything that the S does, like the infinite 360 roll, which is a very specific and incredibly cool look. It also has sport mode, which is what it sounds like. This will keep up with your faster moving objects when shooting a subject in action, like a fight scene or a sporting event of some kind. There's plenty more to get into, but I have somewhere to be right now.
A chainsaw.
A chainsaw?
It's a really gross way to go.
He never chainsaw it coming.
That's the worst tombstone I've ever seen.
That's the best I could do on short notice.
It's been over a week.
I am busy. I am a busy...
You forgot.
I forgot.
Should we at least say a few words?
Yes, I did. Actually, I prepared something. I think it's what he would have wanted, so if you'll allow me. Domain.com has all your website needs, including .com and .net domain names and intuitive website builders so you can start creating your identity online. They're affordable, reliable, and have all the tools that you need to start building a new website and sharing your ideas with the world. No domain extension is going to help you tell your story like a .com or .net domain name. And if you want to brand yourself online, Domain.com has over 300 domain extensions to fit your needs, from .club to .space. The guys at Domain.com want to show you some love by giving you 15% off their already affordable prices. When you get domain names, web hosting, or email, just use your coupon code FilmRiot at Domain.com's checkout. And when you think domain names, think about Josh.
That was beautiful.
Thank you. It's just a little something. It's nothing, really.
Well, what now?
Oh, I don't know. This is all I planned.
Should we have called the cops?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Jumping back in, we have Active Track 3.0, and if you have used DJI's drones or Osmo, you'll already be familiar with this. But for those of you who are not familiar, you just select your subject in the app here, and your system is going to track that subject automatically as you move. The only downside for me here is that you really have to mount your phone to your camera for it to work properly, and it does come with this iPhone mount, which is fairly sturdy, but putting your phone on top of your camera, of course, adds weight, and I found made stabilizing a bit more difficult. So for me and my setup, this was a little more trouble than it's worth. However, I can see someone with a smaller setup finding this very useful. It's an amazing feature, just not as much for the rig I usually go with. Another new feature is Force Mobile, which lets you use your phone to motion control the Ronin-SC, so the gimbal operator can focus on the move while your other operator focuses on nailing the framing. This is a feature that I really love and is much needed in many circumstances. And with most cameras of this size having apps where you can actually see what the camera sees, you can use another phone as the monitor and you're good to go. The last thing that sets the SC apart from the S is the focus motor, which comes with the Pro combo version, and it's exactly what it sounds like. It allows you to pull focus right from the gimbal on any lens. You can of course do this with the S as well, but you have to buy the focus motor, which is an extra $170. And this is a must-have for me because otherwise I'm stuck setting my focus and keeping that distance, since I rarely ever use autofocus lenses. So overall, it's much lighter and way easier to balance than the S. It's easier for transport, definitely has a fantastic run and gun gimbal setup to it, since it allows you to break down your setup and then set back up very quickly. There's some extra features compared to the S, and the ability to pull focus straight from the gimbal. But there are some things to keep in mind too, mainly its max payload. This system is not intended for larger cameras. It's intended to be a small and light setup. So depending on your camera and your lens, you could have a tough time here. So look into compatibility before reaching for this one. But for light cams, it really is an incredible setup, especially for travel, vlogging, weddings, and the like. Overall, as with most of the gear DJI puts out, honestly, I really like the SC and definitely see myself using this more than the S because of that focus motor and the weight difference. Of course, if you are interested in checking it out or getting one for yourself, it will run you around $439 for the basic set and $539 for the Pro combo. Links for all of that in the notes below as well. But that's it. A big thanks to DJI for sending this to us ahead of time so we could mess around with it. And until next time, don't forget to write, shoot, edit, repeat.